Yes, sir. Chairman Dale.
Present.
Vice Chairman Moore is excused. Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Lawson.
Present.
Commissioner Page.
Present.
Commissioner O'Connor.
Here.
Commissioner Ottenshot.
Here.
Sir, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Sherry. Ricky Johnson, will you please lead us in the pledge? Yep.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for that. Let's go over the regular meeting minutes for August 13. Any questions, concerns? I'd like to start off on the record of thanking Sherry. That's a very well done, compiled set of minutes for a very robust conversation. Thank you to the commissioners. Many topics covered, a lot of ground, much different opinions offered, remedies were sought, remedies were, going to be researched and reached. That is what this is all about. I would like to start with one thing that came out of the minutes, and that was a comment made by Commissioner Moore regarding, we're kind of at a clean point here with getting a new golf pro, re-looking at everything that we're doing, business model, practices, rules, regulations, and for him to bring that up and say, boy, this is a good start point to get new regulations and procedures in place. I thought that was very commendable, and it looked to me like you've taken that to task. So that's commendable on his part to bring that up, mention it, and for us to take that on as a commission to start anew. You're coming on at about the same time the commission came on, so it all worked out well. Any other concerns or comments on the minutes? Motion to accept.
Yes.
Accept.
Yes.
We have a motion.
Motion to accept.
Motion to accept the minutes. Do we have a vote, or let's vote? All in favor?
Yes.
Aye. No nays reported. Call to the public. Comments from the public. We have one request from Pam Tappan.
Good afternoon. My name is Pam Tappan. I live on Country Club Drive, adjacent to the 7th Fairway, and have been there for 6.5 years. First, I want to commend the maintenance personnel on how well they maintain the golf course with so little money. We are lucky to have such a high-quality golf course in Kingman. I am here to talk about the master plan for the golf course. I thought Mayor Walker might be here, and Mr. Mearsman. I know this is a futile endeavor on my part, knowing that neither one of you respects the input from residents, but I'm still going to give my input. I think we can all agree that we don't have many professional golfers that use our course on a regular basis. Most golfers come out here to have fun or to be in a tournament. I can tell you that most golfers that play the 7th hole are not having fun. How do I know this, you ask? I base it on 3 things that I've observed over the past 6.5 years. The amount of golf balls I get in my yard. I gather them and I give them to a friend who in turn gives them to the girls' golf team. Last week I gave her 21, which is about average for the month. My neighbor next door gets even more. I also know they're not having fun by all the yelling, swearing, and throwing of clubs by the golfers just trying to locate their golf balls. And last but not least, the delays that reduces the pace of play tremendously. If I average 21 balls a month, and it takes 5 minutes for them looking for their ball, that's an hour and 45 minutes per month just looking for the balls that landed in my yard. At my house, we don't call them golfers, we call them goofers. A very simple solution to help turn these goofers into golfers is to move the darn tee box on 7. Problem solved. Maybe it won't make them better golfers, but they'll have more fun and want to come back and play golf. Another slight adjustment, and I gave you a picture, might be to remove the bush next to the wall behind 785 Country Club Drive. Last weekend, I spent 2.5 hours cleaning out the debris underneath the bush, and I brought you what I found. 34 golf balls. 34 golf balls at 5 minutes equals 2 hours and 50 minutes of delays. Why don't you cut it down? It's an eyesore. They can't maintain it. It's growing over the neighbor's bush or wall. So it might just be beneficial to cut it down. My last thing here is for Mayor Walker. The council needs to enforce our city ordinances. Driving the arterial roads to the golf course looks like you're driving through a third world country. If you don't think this affects our golf course and our city's reputation, you're sadly mistaken. But what's even sadder is the city chooses to do nothing about it. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Mike, have you seen that picture? Let's pass that over to these other commissioners as well.
Yeah, what's that?
Sean and Todd haven't seen it. That's on 7, that is the, I want to say, north side.
Sir, we can't discuss it. We can add it to the agenda next time.
Okay, I just want to,
Thank
for
you.
context. Okay, let's move on to action item 3, the review of the golf course rules and regulations. Comments?
Comment on attire. You have men and women as wearing shirts, sleeves and no tank tops, etc. Women, you're saying that would be the same. Women can wear sleeveless shirts, golf shirts, or sleeveless or collarless that are designed for golf shirts. So I think that should be changed.
You on item 3?
Page 3.
Page 3, item 3?
The women's golf attire can be sleeveless and collarless. They're designed for women.
Yeah, I'd say if it's on the market and being marketed as a female's golf attire, it should meet the city standard. Keep shoes on at all times is a nice touch. My question, and it goes back to many broad spectrum items that we deal with, what's the enforcement? Who's the enforcer?
If we recognize it in the pro shop, we tell them then, that's what we will do. And that's a challenge with rules, is it something that we're gonna get support on when we enforce them? That's what we see as a challenge, you know, I mean, because we can create rules, and if somebody comes out there and, they want to argue about it, then it's a challenge somewhat, but we'll tell them in the pro shop, or if we see somebody out on the golf course with their shirt off, we'll address it with them. So that's kind of all we can do. We don't have rangers on duty at all the time, or that can enforce that, but we are looking to get more of those, so we'll see.
I accept that challenge. I don't know who the "we" is. Is it you? Is it Alex? Is it whomever? I mean, what's the authority figure that's last call that says, hey, this is unacceptable?
It's whoever's working in the pro shop, I would say, at the time, really, that's running the golf course at that time.
Has
Which
that
would
been
be normally
shared?
our golf professional and his staff that are in there. When they see
Or
somebody
his
come in.
designated representative on site? Has it been shared with them that they're in that enforcement role?
Well, what I gave was an opportunity to discuss what you do and do not want as proper or improper golf attire. And that's from numerous golf stops, that's from checking websites, that's from checking other golf courses on what they do and do not allow. I will say 100% one of the hardest jobs is a man telling a female she can't wear that. It's not an easy or a fun task, period.
Absolutely.
If you want it enforced, it can be enforced, but sometimes it's going to get ugly. It just is.
The enforcement on that can be request removal, ask them to leave, ask them to proper attire, what?
Could even ask them to buy a shirt in the pro shop if they don't have one. And I've seen people do that at other clubs. So,
You understand on the marshalling aspect, I'm glad you brought that up. Marshalling in its simplest form equals revenue. Slow play costs you money. Agree? Where are we at on marshals? Oh, excuse me, where are we at on marshals? We discussed in the June meeting that three were on the docket to be hired and budgeted.
budgeted for, I think.
Where are we at?
I'm not sure. We're just having challenging finding staff to work the pro shop right now in a grill, as a matter of fact, right now, so, and we're over budget in that area as well, so it's a battle Mike's been dealing with, so.
Wait a minute, I don't,
Since June?
what does that mean, you're over budget? You're saying that you have more money outgoing in salary than you're budgeted for?
We've spent more money on our part-time budget for this time of the year than we have, is what we've been told. And that's what
So are you
challenges, that's
dipping
what
into-
challenges with staffing, challenges with staffing, basically. And we've gotten direction that the beverage cart needs to be out more. And so we put the beverage cart out more, and that it eats into our part-time budget, part-time labor budget. All the different things that eat into our part-time budget. And this is all going off a little bit of where we're at with the rules, but if we're talking about rules, this doesn't really pertain to rules, but that's the challenge with part-time labor right now.
Okay.
And that's what you've been told.
We'll get back to the marshalling thing then when we talk to Mike. We can do that. We can stay on the rules. I just think that it's very easy, and I think Mike will agree by his statement, it's very easy to implement a rule. It's not so easy to enforce it. And so
100%.
to put out a book and say, these are our rules, hard and fast, and then get them enforced, and man, they gotta be enforced equally, right? We gotta, if it's this rule for this group, it's this rule for this group. Any other comments on these?
I'm trying to find the page. Lost ball, looking for the lost ball, the USGA says it's 3 minutes, not 5 minutes.
That was recently changed, yes.
Did we change that?
It's gone from 5 to 3.
I highlighted it. Where is it?
Page 7, claims. Claims for damages. What would be considered a claim for damage? An example. Didn't mean to interrupt you, we'll get back to that.
That's all right.
Which one are you talking about now?
Bottom of 7, start of page 8, claims for damages. Who's filing the claim for what damage? Give me an example of a claim for damage.
Well, any claim for damage would be sent to our city's risk management department. I mean, if somebody's car gets hit with a golf ball in the parking lot or something, and it's not gonna be, the city's not responsible for it, but they will go to our risk management department, deals with all of the claims.
Damage to a golf cart? That would
Right.
be an example?
That'd be an example too, yeah.
And that would be the city then having a claim on an individual for
Right.
reparations to that cart? Okay. Thank you for that. Back to your lost ball.
That's on page 16. Line 14. Am I speaking loud enough?
No.
Yeah.
What's the actual verbiage?
The rule of golf, give 5 minutes to search for a lost ball. It's now reduced to 3.
Yeah, that needs to be changed. Something on page. Glad you included the etiquette. That's another thing that's slowly dying in the game and hard to enforce, but I'm glad you included that. You've got rangers in here, so at least they have a body of work to go by when we have them.
Right.
Back to the claims on the carts as part of the rules. Do you currently in place with the new carts have in place a reporting procedure through the return process to match cart numbers to names to report that damage?
Yes,
Yes, we do.
Okay, and then that will go, as Mike is saying, damage will be determined, risk will determine it through the law office. This is what we're gonna do, needs to be made whole, that type of thing. That was lacking before Mike's, that was lacking before. Our carts weren't nice, but they were still city property and needed to be maintained, and I think that we need to really put a thrust on that you're indeed leasing one of our vehicles for a short amount of time, and it needs to be treated as such, and, right? Fair enough.
Correct.
Anything else on these?
Yeah, I was just curious on just some clarification on page 17, line 21. Stop between 9, you lose your position, must get restarted by the pro shop. Is that something that you want done every time somebody stops at 9? Or like if they walk to their cart and see that it's still the group that's in front of them, they can just go? Or how
Well,
do you
I
want
think the
that?
definition of stop means stop and have lunch. Like
Oh,
stop.
okay,
Like
gotcha.
actual stop.
Okay.
like play 9 holes, stop and have lunch, and then just fit back in on 10. No, that's not what you get to do.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what's meant by it.
Perfect. Yeah, I
You know
just
what I
wanted
mean?
some clarification
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that. Appreciate it.
Because everyone's going to stop from 9 to 10. Just keep your place in line.
Yep.
We had it happen last week. Someone stopped for lunch, and we were too busy. And you can go back and play the front again, but you can't play the back because there's no place to put you.
We had that happen 2 weeks ago, same deal, out-of-towners stopped, absolutely encouraged that, go in, have lunch, et cetera, but they came back out and it was an absolute mess on 10. They obviously did not go through the clubhouse. So that's a very good rule. We need to, again, somehow verbalize that, vocalize that to those golfers. A lot of things in here that marshalling can correct. Would you agree with that statement?
I would agree if people listen.
Any other comments? Commissioner Ottenshot, what you got?
Nothing at this time.
We talked about like a minimum age for any child to be on the course with parent, supervision and everything. I mean, if we were going to vote on that or talk about that, I just wanted to give my opinion on it. I don't think we need to do that.
Lay it out. What is your opinion on that?
Well, I mean, you do have younger kids out there, and I get the, the risks of a child possibly being hit or whatever. But if it's going to be something that the city wants a player to sign, if they're bringing their child out there, then I think that's something we should look into rather than just saying you can't bring your children out here if they're 1 year old or 6 months old. It's something I've been dreaming about, bringing a kid, if I ever have one, out on the course with me. One of my best friends is having a kid this year, and we can't wait to bring him out. So it's something I just want to talk more about rather than put it in there. I didn't see it on the what we talked about last time, but we did bring it up, so.
It was in here. I
Yeah.
think I said.
In here, the minimum age is
A comment
12, I
on
think.
that. I was recently playing behind two men and two children. I would say 4 and 5 or 6 years old, running through the sand traps. They had to stop and rake the whole trap. They were running all over the place. We're hitting balls. It was very dangerous. His mom picked him up after 9, but it was horrendous to watch. The only thing, if the gentleman is checking in and the children aren't present, you don't know that they're going to be riding in the cart, and there's no starter to catch it. So how can you rectify that?
Marshals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would address that issue. I'm with Commissioner Lawson. My kids are grown now, so they don't want to do much of anything with me. But I encourage, in general, people having their kids on the golf course. I think it encourages growth of the game, which I think is what we would all like to do. We could probably spend all day talking about proper parenting, but having rangers available would address most of the issues that we do have with kids on the course, if there are any issues. So.
I think hard, fast age by number is problematic. We go back as far as having junior golf go down to younger ages than that. I don't know what the hard and fast number would be. There needs to be some ambiguity in it, in the matter of a lot of it is the discretion of the pro, and they need to be under control. If you get a complaint, we're back to the enforcement end of you may need to be removed from the course. But man, yeah, I want a 4-year-old out there. Absolutely I do. I want a 5-year-old out there. I want them all out there. We know the alternative, so get them all out there. And growing the game starts at that age. You can get that bug early. So I don't know how you would exactly enter that into the record, into your rules and regulation, hard and fast with a number when you couldn't prove their age if you had to. I've seen 7-year-olds that look like 12-year-olds and 12-year-olds that look like 4-year-olds, so that would be hard to enforce. So I guess I'm with Mr. Lawson and Mr. Page that I don't think a hard, fast number is the answer. I think it's more of under the parental control, under adult supervision, something like that. Thoughts?
Well, I brought this up last meeting just to have this discussion, so everyone, for this reason, it doesn't matter to me. I want kids on the golf course also. Like, I understand growing the game. I understand all of this. I'm good with it. And whatever the decision is made, I'm 100% behind. I have seen kids of all ages on the golf course, some well-behaved and some not even close to it. It's really hard to step up to a parent and go, get your kid under control. That's a fight waiting to happen. And as a 31-year-old and a father of a 31-year-old and 21-year-old, they started on the golf course at the age of 2 and 3 and 4 with my ex-wife and I. And we made sure they did what they were supposed to do. It doesn't always happen. So I understand the enforcement part 100%. And I'm behind the enforcement part 100%. But the enforcement part, telling a parent to get their kid under control, is not an easy discussion.
Absolutely.
It's just not. I have no problem having the discussion. It's not an easy discussion because you don't know how that parent is going to take it, regardless of how kind and soft and easy the words are. So you want kids, I'm 100% behind it. Seriously, I am.
So how do we want to verb it into the rules?
I don't think we need to have anything in the rules, just like we have. You have 12 years old, anybody under 12 years old has to have an adult accompanied unless you have taken the junior golf program.
Yeah, I think it's worded perfectly.
Because I started playing competitive, at like 9 or 10. And so I knew the rules and everything because I went to Paul Mowry's, golf class basically. So I think you have it that's perfect because I don't mind an 8 or a 10-year-old being out there if they know etiquette and they know rules and they know not to go mess around out there. But I think 12 is a good number to where you can give them a talking to if they're out of line, and if they don't straighten up, then they could ask to leave, I guess. But like I said, it's different asking than them doing basically.
So you're saying leave it as it is?
I like it how it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think there should be like an age that you can't bring your kids out there. I think if you do see someone having a younger child with them or multiple young children, I think there just needs to be some words spoke at the beginning, like, hey, please keep your kids in line. Please keep them out of sand traps. Keep up pace of play. If you can't do those things, then you're going to be asked to leave. And that can be the end, but I don't know what you do if you're out on the course and you do see them. I mean, I know some people, do get pretty, fed up with it and they want to start something with you. So, I don't know, that's when you call the cops, I guess. I don't know. I mean, or call me. I'll come out there.
It goes back to marshaling, I think.
But to respond to what you said, Mike, that you've seen kids of all ages, some be good, some be not. I've seen a lot of adults play this game. Some be good and some not, So
Touche.
that just goes back to the marshal thing as well, too. It helps have them out there, especially during busy time. I don't think we need one out in the mornings during the week because we have your avid golfers playing them, but for sure Saturday, Sunday afternoons and, late mornings, I think that'd be crucial to get that marshal in. And I don't know if it's the right time to bring up, but like, who do we talk to about increasing some of this budget? Right?
We'll be getting into our budget process. We started on it already, so
Perfect.
we're working on doing that stuff right now. And we're obviously, there's another thing, we're getting a lighted driving range. We're putting lights on our driving range, so that's going to require more help as well to be there while in the end of the evening. So there's a lot of areas where we're going to need more part-time labor, and there are several council members that have expressed concerns about how much we're spending at the golf course. So we have to balance all that. So that's what we're in the process of doing now.
So you're happy, you'd be happy with that verbiage as is, and, you know, a lot of their situation too, it's local knowledge of the kids and who their parents are, and you know them, and it's all they, you know. But man, yeah, you got 3 different school districts dropping kids in year-round schools, 2 weeks off here, somebody gets a summer break, somebody has a fall break, and a parent wants to drop a couple 10 years old off to walk 9, man, I'm all for it. I'm sorry, I don't think for a minute, Mike, that you're running a daycare. I'm not saying that, but man, I have a lot of fond memories of days at the golf course, you know, summer break, out walking 9. So a lot of that's gonna come back to falling on us as fellow golfers, you and your staff, and say, you know, these kids are out of line, but I don't wanna put a hard, fast number on it. I want it to be more of a behavioral issue than an age number, I guess.
Yeah.
So leave the verbiage as is and then kind of case by case it. Is that fair to you?
That's fair. And also, I want to upfront of all the, right now it's high school golf season. I've had 0 problems with any high school kids. None. The coaches have all kept them in line. They're all incredibly well-mannered, and when they walk in the pro shop to do whatever, I've had 0 problems with any of the high school golfers. None.
Perfect.
Yep.
That is good to hear.
Please be sure to speak into your microphone. They've told me that they can't hear you.
All right, where are we at on this? Do we need we're gonna do a vote for approval of them? Or we still in the rough draft mode? What are we doing?
If you'd like, we can make these edits and bring them back, or you think that's what we should do? I mean, then
it's
we
a
need to
living
take it to
document.
council, so.
It needs to be a living document, right? It needs to be modified as we go. Mike's gonna identify some things as his feet get wetter.
So we'll bring it back to the next meeting, and then we can put it to council after that.
Okay, any of the commissioners got any other things on there? Will you please get you a physical copy of them and highlight it with anything? And
I'm okay.
I think it's a very good foundational document. So we've needed this. I don't know if this is something you came up with or something you've modified to get to this point. Wherever, this is what we need, and then we need to look at going forward with enforcement and implementing it. Golf course super, so we're good with that. It'll come back as an action item to be reviewed. Sherry, yes, please. Let's move on to Mike and Golf Course Superintendent report, please.
Alex will be doing it. Patrick is out right now.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I had them mixed up with the Golf Pro report.
All right, good afternoon. We're going to go ahead and get started with the golf course superintendent report. Golf course greens, the southern brass buttons. Herbicide apps continue in 2-week intervals with strong signs of the southern brass button dying out. Areas where the southern brass button weed has been sprayed out are being poked, seeded, and green sanded to help regrowth in those areas. Continuing with golf course greens, preventative fungicide applications on greens in 2-week intervals continue in unison with the herbicide applications to help combat any oncoming fungus growth. A light dethatching is newly introduced, weekly followed by a double mow to help clean up any of the leftover thatch. Green cemented and plugged out is needed. Green spiking to help open up the thatch layer. Greens rolling continues 3 to 5 times per week to help keep a level playing surface with the dying out of the southern brass button weed. White lines continue to be painted in approaches to help keep cart traffic a reasonable distance away from the green and green apron complex. Golf course tees. Golf course tees are being sanded and seeded 3 times per week where divots have been taken. Tee markers are moved to fresh turf to allow the sand and seed to germinate uninterrupted, as well as to keep the divot pattern at a minimum in these areas. Tee tops continue to be mowed 2 times a week at minimum to keep up with the growing turf. And tee complexes have been sprayed with a preventative fungicide applications to help combat the onset of fungus growth. The golf course fairways. Slit seating continues to take place in bare spots and fairways. These spots are then staked and roped off to promote germination uninterrupted. Rope and stakes removed in needed areas where newly germinated seed has become established. The fairway spiking is taking place in both wet and dry spots to allow the water to penetrate through the surface, and thatch layer allowing the proper nutrients to the turf. An additional item right now, we are beginning our fall aerification season. We are beginning fairways right now. It's a half-inch solid tine. We have completed the back nine. We're moving on to the front nine with plans next week to move on to the course tees, and the third week will be the course greens. Our new cart fleet was received, geofencing integrated to keep cart traffic off of green and tee complexes. Multiple calls have been received per day in regards to carts not working. This is a product of the new geofencing. The Pro Shop team is doing an excellent job in relaying this to our customers before they leave the Pro Shop. Pin locations are accurately displayed on the GPS for that day. We've got some irrigation issues since the last report. Roughly 70 feet of piping replaced, varying from 1.25 to 4 inches in size. 3 new 2-inch electric valves installed, 1 new 2-inch gate valve installed, and a total of 15 sprinklers replaced across the course. And pin placement. On the left side of the screen right there, that's what we've been going by, our pin placement chart. Kind of just helps keep the pin not only fresh, but helps reduce compaction on the green. On the right, it's kind of a newer pin sheet that we've got accustomed to with the help of Mike. It's kind of similar in a way, but with a couple little different touches right there. And with that, that will conclude the superintendent report. Are there any questions?
On GPS, there has to be something changed on hole 18 for the ladies, the copper tee box. It was moved back where it was, the GPS was set at, and we moved the box to the forward box.
Okay.
And it shows that, do you want to play 17, you want to play 18, it's got to, it's not recognizing 18.
Okay.
So we have to go in and reset it.
Okay, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
can you get that adjusted?
Yeah, we'll definitely take a look at that.
Have we received that top dressing machine?
We haven't as of yet. I know that we just issued the PO, believe it was right after last meeting, so it's going to be a little bit of a process before we do actually receive it.
So we have actually purchased it, but we just purchased it after the last meeting? Is that what you're saying?
No, so we had put in for it, but the PO was just issued right around the last meeting. So
Okay.
it was
So it's been
already
ordered. It has been
It
ordered.
has been? Okay.
Yeah.
What's your plan when we're doing this aeration as far as top dressing and stuff? Are you gonna try to do more sanding and top dressing on the greens this time to help them level out? I mean, I know we gotta do them by hand, but, hopefully we would've had this machine in by now, but,
It's definitely aided us, so we would plan to continue to do that.
okay.
I think the tee boxes and the greens will look a lot better than they did 6 months ago in general. I think the narrowing of the tee boxes has helped and moving them more often, for sure. So I commend you on that. As far as the fairways, I think they're still in pretty rough condition generally. I think that would be agreed upon. Is there anything we're doing to prevent birds from stealing the seed when we're trying to grow grass? Because they're well fed.
They are, unfortunately, it's kind of just, it's a never-ending battle.
Okay.
We see them, we chase them away, or,
I don't know anything about either of them, birds or seed, but I see the birds out there.
If I could, that's why they use a slit seeder, so they hopefully get some in the ground before the birds can get to it. So, but some, when you use a slit seeder, so some of it ends up on top. So, the birds are well fed though, for sure.
Fair enough. That was one question I had. Another one, I know it's like a learning curve with the GPS on the carts, and I don't know if it's been addressed already, but it was probably 2 weeks ago. I was parked behind the third hole on the cart path, and my cart wouldn't go, so I had to drive in reverse to the fourth hole, which is fine. I made it, but that was a couple weeks ago, so I don't know if that's been addressed, but
I know that's something that's looked at pretty frequently
Okay.
to try and prevent those kinds of issues.
fair enough. That's all I had.
Is there a different kind of seed that we could possibly get?
I know we just switched over right now. It's more of like a three-way blend of fescue and ryegrass and some bluegrass in there. So that's different than our usual just fescue or ryegrass, just one blend. So we are trying a 3-blend mix right now.
Okay, but there's nothing that is like specifically for keeping birds from not eating it? Like, it might be a dumb question, but, you know.
I know in the past we have tried, I believe it's lye-coated seed, and that was just about the same rate. They were eating
Okay.
that up as well.
All right, thank you.
June meeting, we discussed the rocks in the tree wells on the back of the green of 5. It's not an aesthetic. They're still creeping down that hill. I've still picked them off the green. I'm still hearing mowers chinging across them. Can we change that to the bark?
Yeah, I'm sure that wouldn't be an issue at all, especially if it's going to save some mower damage or as someone slipping. It would,
Recover the rock, use it elsewhere, but I'm just saying it's causing a problem for maintenance, that's causing a problem for the greens, that's damaging equipment. Is the cement on number 1 tee box gonna be redone?
Somebody wrote there's wheel tracks in the new fresh cement.
oh, we'll definitely plan on getting that redone then.
You make me nervous. You're there, but you don't take notes. What is being done about the invasive weed, the red root that is moving from the rough to the fairways? I don't even know what it is. I don't think it's the blue bonnet stuff. It's a new stuff. Man, it is creepy. It is invasive. What's going on with that?
So as well, to coincide with our fungicide apps on our greens, or I apologize, herbicide apps on our greens, we rotate that with herbicide apps on our fairways. Unfortunately, our spray rig has been down, so when we have been able to utilize our Parks Department spray rig, we have been trying to prioritize our greens right now. We just got our spray rig up though, so we do have plans to get the herbicide application out on the course fairways.
It is on your radar. Curbing on 7, tee box to tee box. What is the preferred route for your tee box mower to take to go from the ladies' tee to the men's tee or vice versa?
Typically, they'll work from, I'll say the black tee markers, the very back. They will work from that forward, whereas play is kind of going in between. They'll go to, let's say, they'll go from black to silver, and then if play comes to silver, they'll go silver to gold. And they'll just try to, it's typically back forward from black to copper.
My concern is equipment going over the curb, onto the cart path, over the curb, onto the green, or onto the next tee.
Yeah, they shouldn't be doing
clean,
that.
clean,
They shouldn't be
clean.
doing that with a mower, so.
Okay.
if-
Something
if-
to keep
if-
them
if-
an
if
eye
they
on.
have, we'll have to address that with them.
So think in your mind, from 7, if you were in a mower, I want it in my mind. How would I get a mower from the silver tee box on 7 to the ladies' tee?
You'd have to go up and around.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Either-
Yeah, I
either
would never go
backward or
over a
forward.
curb with a mower like that, so, and that's kind of what you do. And like Alex is saying, it depends on the traffic there that day. So, you know, if there's traffic in the way, they will have to jump over to this one and do this one and back to the other one, so that's kind of what they do. But yeah, they shouldn't obviously jump curbs with a tee mower.
I'm not here trying to narc people out, dude. I'm looking out for our precious resource, which is equipment. And I understand the guy's got a billion tee boxes to mow, and the shortest route between 2 points is a straight line, but the lake on 6, what are we doing about the leak? I would love someone to explain to me our relationship with Fish and Game, Department of Wildlife, whatever it is that we're commingling with on these bodies of water. What is their responsibility? What is ours?
They don't have any responsibility.
So they put an endangered species and a sign up and in our body of water, and now we can't do anything with the water?
We can do stuff with water.
Could you moat them? Could you moat the water on 9?
Say it again? Could you-
Moat, M-O-A-T, moat. could you go in there and pour a grundle of dirt and make it channeled on all sides? A bare rock island in the middle of that pond.
I think if we wanted to, we could.
Okay, no, there's no endangered species,
No,
there's
they-
nothing,
They
there's no
come, they've come
environmental
and taken
impact.
those out, I think, so I'm not even sure, I'm not sure if they've done it in a while, but they came and took them all out and took them to the river.
So to your knowledge, other than the turtles, whatever we got, to your knowledge, there's not an endangered species in our bodies of water.
Well, I can't say that I don't know that there's not, but
Yeah, I mean,
they have not been communicating with us in quite some time, so, years, I mean.
I was gonna say, it's a broken relationship if you're required to maintain something and you're not receiving any
No,
financial.
we just maintain it for golf.
Right, but I'm saying if they're thinking that you're doing something because of an endangered species in there and they're not willing to give you money for that, that doesn't seem right. So the onus to, or the onus to fix the leak on 6 is on the city of Kingman.
I'm not sure which leak you're referring to.
You said in the June meeting that the pond on 6 leaked. The liner leaked.
Oh, the liner does, I mean, I think none of our liners are perfect liners, I don't think. Even the one on 9, I don't think, it has a liner in it, but the one on 6 doesn't really have a liner in it. It just has clay material that they put in years ago and put to the bottom. So that's what that pond has. It doesn't really have a PVC liner in it.
What is the measurable wind speed in which you turn the aerators off?
I guess when it's affecting people spraying, getting them wet, we don't really measure it, I don't think, and turn them off for any special reason.
They're merely decorative. If we're not
No, I
aerating
wouldn't
the
say-
water for a species, then they are merely decorative at this point.
No, not really. They're to keep the oxygen in the water. I mean,
Algae.
algae, yeah.
Can we put an unwritten rule that if you're getting water on the green, that you should shut it off? The one on 6 seems to be inoperable, is that correct?
Currently, right now, yes.
Don't miss it. The one on 9, can you look at that, Mike, and put out some protocol? If it's X amount of wind speed, let's shut it down. I don't care if it runs all night, but I'm saying it. We ask you at the Water Sustainability to get evaporation rates going for these ponds. That literally is just shooting water into the air. Then you run the fill valve, rinse, repeat. It's not a water sustainable situation. That's all I'm saying. We need to look at moating. I don't think it would be a large physical expense, monetary expense. It would be a more physical labor. It would be a recycling of dirt from some sort. 9 is lined. 6 would be an adequate. 6 actually has more banks in actual play than 9 does, right? Water on 9 is 80% decorative, 20% in play. 6 is in play on 3, right? So it's actually more in play, but you could still moat that and keep water in play on those holes to not affect your rating or slope. So that's good to hear about this, the city of Kingman and the Fish and Game, because those signs are still up. Maybe remove them. Let's take that out of the purview of the public, that there is not an endangered species here.
We'll have to get with Fish and Game and see if they've gotten them all out of there or what their relationship is with that right now. I haven't.
Will you be
I've
the
not-
point of contact on that?
I'm not sure if it'll be me or Patrick when he gets back.
Okay. I've always seen the sign on 6. I just realized there was one recently on 9. We're looking at rapid infiltration basins based off the INA that we just had done through the Water Sustainability Task Force with the City of Kingman and the Mojave County. I want to talk to you just a minute about water. Scott Holtree did let me see if I can find it. Scott Holtree did a presentation. Scott Holtree is the Development Service Director for Mojave County. He's the counterpart of Mr. Walsh. That's Mr. Walsh's old job, right? Scott took Tim's job for the county. Were you at this meeting, June 16, 25? I think you were on vacation. That's about the same time we had the golf commission meeting. This is just a snapshot of where we're at. We've been working for 6 years on getting this INA, get the agriculture stopped, get water out of stop the harvesting of water out of our aquifer. We do not have infiltration. The only thing that we've got going in there is seepage, right? We're sitting on a percolator and we are collapsing the pot. Southern, Gregg, Wallapai, and Kingman are our 3 aquifers. We're drawing mainly at the golf course off the Kingman, which is obviously attached to the Wallapai. Notably, the Kingman subbasin showed a concerning increase of 6,800 gallons in cultivation since 2019, raising alarms about water sustainability in the area where Kingman sources water. So any single thing you can do to, I don't want to go from we have a beautiful green, lush golf course to water restriction. The board noted that the current deficit in aquifer stands at about 50,474,000 acre feet annually, equating to over 16 billion gallons of water not being replenished each year. That is not sustainable. The deficit poses a serious challenge for future water management, especially parks, recs, agriculture use, as reportedly consumes 3 times more than the domestic use of the city. So knowing that you're the main storage facility outside of culinary water between those ponds, right? Mike being even more so with swimming pools, all that he's got going through parks and everything else. Just forefront, top of your mind, we're working on a contingency plan. Mr. Mearsman's coming to our water sustainability meetings. You're all welcome to attend. You're welcome to attend. Next meeting, 15th, 10:30 a.m., Board of Supervisors meeting room. More of the contingency plan will be discussed. Keep that in mind. In the closing of the loop of water, we need to talk about drains. Drain on 10. It is the high point of the cart turnaround. Drain on 6. Absolutely plugged. Drain on 7 tee box, yes. Drain in the middle of 12 on the cart path, absolutely plugged. 2013, 2014, we put out a ton of cash for a drain study. Where is that drain study? Why are we not following it? We paid an outside person to come in and do a drain study. Where are we?
They didn't do a drain study at the golf course that I know of.
Absolutely we did. Absolutely.
I have not
we
seen
did.
it, so.
It was probably right at your cusp of coming on. But it
Well,
was
I've been
one
there
of the
since
last things
2007.
it was one of the last things that we approved, and they went in there and they put out these leach lines. They showed where the drain, it was just like your tree study that you just did, right? The experts came in and said, this is a high spot, your drain needs to be here. This is where you're gaining water, that needs to be moved here. And it was a full-blown mapped out. See if you can find that.
Yeah, I've not seen it, so I'm not sure who has it.
I want to say 12, it was approved for 13's budget. Around that area. And we've modified the course, I get that. But the drain really shouldn't. But just in your travels, I'm a noticer, so I notice things. But you've got sprinkler boxes completely overgrown with the red-veined weed. Your irrigation guys out there, shovel, hammering, trying to find lids to valves. It's just a mess with the markings and all of that. The drains that we do have were not being utilized. We put orange cones on the drains on 10 tee box. That is a never-ending infestation of mosquitoes because that's never drained. The drain on 7 tee box, put in a nice low fillet drain, lateral drain in there. It's never drained. Meanwhile, you're getting these flood zones because you're taking that water that's now being directed by curbing and it's dumping it on your tee box. Your mower goes through there, boom, 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 boom. Now you got issues with the mower. rake replacement inventory, we talked about this in June. Is your sand guy replacing rakes? Are they in stock? Are you ordering them? Do you have an inventory for? There are many traps that do not have them. There are many traps that have them, and they are garbage.
We currently do have some on order. We have gone through in the last month and replaced them. I do have 1 to 2 more full sets on order right now, though, so we can go out and replace any that are missing, any that are broken.
Perfect, thank you. And then basically, he can distribute them while he's, okay. Cart path scarification. Part of getting the new golf cart contract was getting these golf carts. Here's my deal with long cycle work. It's making my head explode that 18 is not done. That's called long cycle work. It's where you start a project and you now have to do work on that project rather than complete that project. Marking of the concrete paths and then not scarifying them, you now need to go back out and remark them. Tearing the turf up on 18 and then not putting turf in on 18, now you need to go out and weed the dirt. That's called long cycle work. And it is absolutely, Deming did studies on this, 180% financial and labor to do a long cycle project, meaning you put 80% more money and time into that project rather than just completing it, okay? So we need to kind of get a window on when 18 is going to be done. We're looking at gates, we're looking at nets, we're looking at range, we're looking at all these other projects, and man, we've got a bunch of irons in the fire that aren't being completed, my opinion. Scarification of the carts. That was an agreement that I thought we entered into, that the cart paths were going to be done prior to we getting brand new buggies and beating them things up and down on them cart paths. Where are we at on that?
So we did have a company based out of Phoenix, I believe it was, come out, and they were the ones who marked the paths. And unfortunately, we weren't able to go through with it. It would have become a capital expenditure at the price that it was. We are in communication right now with our Public Works Department to see if we could possibly utilize their tools to do that. So it's all done in-house. It's we're not spending that kind of unnecessary money.
You'd lose a man to labor basically to run the machine. You would use their equipment, your guy. We have the equipment. The city of Kingman owns the equipment.
I believe so.
East driving range now. That is scheduled for replacement, but was not part of the original contract to redo. Are you saying the east driving range net is part of the lighting of the driving range contract?
It's not part of it, but it's going to be done at that time, so we only close the driving range down for a shorter period of time.
So while it's down to do the lighting, you're going to do the east side net?
Right,
In-house contract.
contract.
Why was that, hypothetically, why was that all not done at the same time, the entire driving range?
Because it was such a large dollar amount that we phased it.
Contract getting approved?
Yeah.
Yeah, capital, I get it. Don't be shy of that answer, that's legit, that's government.
That's what it's the
The way
truth.
it works, man. So the 18 fairway, back to that, we're working on that, we're gonna get that rocked. Where are we at on 18?
As far as the back to desert area, as
Yep.
that was. I know that we're planning on kind of getting some larger boulders, maybe looking at some desert plants that we can get in there, so it's a lesser maintained area, but also still back to desert area, conserving a little more water over there.
So it's not gonna be rocked.
I'm not sure if they got the budget to put rock in there or not, but that's the challenge with going back to, to conserve water, we want to go back to desert.
Absolutely.
But maintaining maintaining the desert areas isn't free either. It's, to buy rock and to buy everything, it's pretty expensive. So that's all something that will be part of a master plan, if we get a master plan done of what we'll do in all those areas. We're just trying to do the best we can at putting some areas back to desert, like we did on 16 in front of the tees. We put some, and if there's an inexpensive way to maintain desert areas, I'd like to know about it, because that's part of the challenge, is to maintain areas where you take turf out and it becomes weeds. So, especially with the amount of rain that we've had enough rain that this year that the weeds grow turn into trees. So, it's kind of a challenge. So,
And the argument I would use on your behalf to the powers that be is a one-time expense of landscape rock is still, A, you avoid long cycle work, and B, it's cheaper than buying water, right? So, food for thought.
Well, you still get weeds in landscape rock.
Right.
Say it again?
You still get weeds in landscape rock. It's just harder to pull.
But nothing near to
I
what's growing.
I think leaving it is, that's why they call it back to desert.
Right.
Leave it at dirt. I mean, we're gonna have to pull some weeds every once in a while. Don't hit it over there.
Well,
That's
I'm
my
even
take.
looking at some way to scar fire it, like get something we could drag through there and drag it twice a year or something to get this stuff out,
Yeah,
you know?
just like down the ditch on one,
Right.
like the right side over there, right?
Yep,
Yeah, every once in a while that gets like mowed or whatever, and
right.
yeah, when it's not mowed, it's hard to
And
find your ball over
number-
there, but don't hit it down there. So
Number 7 as well, they're talking about number 7, there's some areas on number 7, both sides, that if
Yeah.
there was a way to maintain those, keep the little weeds from getting to be big weeds,
Yep.
we'll be better off, so.
Gotcha.
I thought in the last meeting or the meeting before, we talked about plants, desert plants being ordered already for 18.
So on 18 Fairway by the tees, we have found some that we can use, some native plants, rather than having to buy some. We can go ahead and take them from there, get them established in the new dirt, and
yeah,
I mean, we tried that on 16 from 5, and that didn't work so well.
We just try it, we like to try it, we'd like to give it a chance to try it and see, it's all we try to do, I don't like to take stuff out and kill it if it's decent stuff, we could try to, make it live, that's what we try to do, so.
well, I'm not sure why we're even trying to put plants into that area on 18. I mean, just to make it look pretty. Is that the idea of it?
I think back to desert, try to make it look like the desert some,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
kind of thing, just,
I don't mean to interrupt. Well, I guess, give me the visual then of, I'm about all that. I'm glad it's gone, whatever. I'm just saying, give me a visual, what it's supposed to look like when it's back to desert, I guess. I thought we were going with landscape rock in there, laying down the plastic, doing fiber, doing the matting or something. What does back to desert look like?
Back to desert is on the rest of the loop, 16, 17, 18, where you got all the lava rocks and the plants and trees and weeds and stuff like that. That's back to desert, because that's
Then
what
I'm
desert's
all
at.
about,
Yeah,
then throw the
I'm-
boulders in there and plant some cactus.
I'm not.
Anything we can do in-house cheap, right?
And I'm not worried about doing any of that stuff anytime soon. Like, we got a lot bigger fish to fry than getting that spot on 18 turned back. Like, I like the back to desert idea. There's 20 more spots on the course that I think we need to do the same thing to, and just let the weeds kind of happen until we get to it, and that'll save us, money and water and mowing and all that stuff to where,
You're making my point for me then. Let's stop going in there and weeding it out, because that then turns it into long cycle work of, we're back 2 weeks ago, it's all weeded up and sage brushed and everything, and now they've gone in there and scraped it back to bare dirt. That's labor you're putting into an area that you're trying to get back to bare desert. So you just made my argument for me,
Gotcha.
right? Then let's stop maintaining it. Either we're gonna do landscape rock, throw some rocks in there, native plants, then let's get away from it. Gopher mitigation plan. Mike, you got a problem, man. My granddaughter's soccer team had to physically change sidelines at the soccer game at Centennial Park for gophers. My man here has a gopher problem. What is this city doing about gophers? The golf course is getting ate alive.
well, it has been for years. We do have a machine that we pump carbon monoxide down into it, and it seems to work well, but just finding the bodies to keep it going all the time is a challenge. I mean, and obviously you mentioned the parks, we have some bigger challenges in some parks, and
Harmon's is gone.
yeah, and it has been, it's been a challenging one, so. But we do have machines that we pump the carbon monoxide down in, and I think it does work, but it's just time consuming, and it takes a lot of labor, so.
Bill Murray.
Yeah.
What do you say? Bill Murray, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it works or not, but the guy in Williams said he got rid of all the gophers by throwing Bubblicious gum down in the holes. So if that's something you want to try out, go for it.
I have to
That
see if our
sounds cheap.
finance department lets us buy bubble gum.
I'll go buy it.
That's ingenious. And it's environmental friendly, because I know what you're fighting with the live traps or the neck noose and all that. I know what you're fighting. I get all of that. I'm just saying, whatever you're doing is not working. And I don't think I need to sit here and explain that to you, that it's not working. It's getting worse.
Well, it does work, and for a period of time, we counted every gopher that we trapped, and we did that for quite a while. And so we do trap some, and it does work, but gophers have a tendency to have a lot of babies. So, anyway, it is a challenge for sure.
Has anyone on the commission in this room heard from Chabon Concepts regarding them reaching out to us? Were they not supposed to get back with us? What have you heard from Chabon Concepts?
I have not heard from them.
We gave them all of our contact information and then nothing happened. I'm not trying to completely jeopardize this entire thing, but what else have you guys got?
Can I bring up, I mean, can we look at sharpening those mower blades for the greens just a little bit? Because I know, I mean, when they do get mowed, they are substantially lower, but they're grown out so long. And then even for the last couple big tournaments, you guys have, cut them, rolled them and stuff to where they do roll better, but they're still pretty slow from what they were a couple years ago. And when they were cut lower a couple years ago, they rolled truer, ball marks weren't as bad, the weeds weren't as bad, everything. So that's my biggest take on that, so.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a seasonal job for us to look at mower blades once we get into the season and see if the greens are cutting good or if the fairways are cutting good, but it's definitely something we do look at.
Perfect.
I have a simple fix, but I'll give you an example. On 11, leaving the green and going on, you've got that hole that you have to drive through that should be filled in. On 9, it's the same thing. There's a hole, and sometimes both are filled with water or, deep. Why not fill them? It's just it seems so easy to me.
We do try to make our way around to fill. These areas are definitely safety trip hazards, and that's the last thing that we want, but that is something that we will continue to look at around the course, anything that we can identify like that.
Yeah, they haven't been fixed in 3 years I've been here, so.
I really want something done with the drains. You're getting water where it shouldn't be. Curbing has modified the natural drainage that the drain plan identified. But you've got bodies of standing water that are causing you're shooting yourself in the foot in your own maintenance schedule of trying to mow tee boxes when they're sopping wet. Please continue with the rope and the stakes. That is wonderful. It works. I think, quote unquote, that the golf course looked presentable for the firemen's. My theory on that, it's easier to get ready for tournaments if you stay ready for tournaments, right? I saw what Mike was going through. I saw what you guys were going through. Let's try to keep it fireman ready, and then we don't have to stop the world and all hands on deck to get it ready. But I get it. I know what you're up against. Do you have staffing issues? I will ask you this every time. I ask Pat, do you have staffing issues?
We do.
Have you presented that to Mr. Mearsman, and has Mr. Mearsman advanced that above him?
I believe Mike is aware of our staffing issues right now.
Okay.
There, the pro shop, the parks, we have staffing issues everywhere, really. It's a real challenge to keep,
Well, I was in
especially
shock
part-time
when
people, it's a challenge.
I was in shock when Pat indicated at the June meeting that he did not have staffing issues. So be honest, it's easier, right?
Yeah, what I always tell people is that, don't be too happy when you're fully staffed, and then you won't be so sad when you're down 3 people, because
Exactly.
it happens, so.
Vacations happen, illness happens, sickness happens, retirement happens. Yeah, I get it. Golf cart warranty. What is the warranty period on the new golf carts?
It's 1 year.
I noticed you've had some work already done.
Yeah, I'm sure there's been some, I think a lot of it is even adjusting governors and stuff like that, which we're not doing any of the work ourselves to them while they're under warranty.
Bear with me. While we're on the carts, I don't know if this is on you. You're welcome to defer. The yardages on the carts and the yardages on the course are wildly off, meaning the fairway markers. I have a tendency to believe the science of GPS. What do you think? Is that,
I don't really, I haven't really checked it all out to see. I think probably the carts would be more accurate now.
I would agree.
But the poles in the middle of the fairway were measured to the center of the green, so I'm not sure which you're referring to, which holes or
Yeah,
what.
well, I have checked probably 13 of 18. They've been off from 3 yards to 24 yards. So I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know if it's a glitch in the matrix, it's a software thing, if it's our old.
I'd like to comment. With that, I've had, the ladies especially, I hit a straight ball. I hit the markers. A lot of them do. And the complaint was, why can't the markers be on the side instead of the center of the fairways? Can it be done?
Yeah, it can be, but, there's different versions. Different people like them different, and we put them down the middle because we figure that hardly anybody hits it down the middle, so they'd be more safe down the middle.
I can't tell you how many times I've hit those markers.
You're pretty good.
Straight anyway.
What happened to the old carts? What happened to the old carts?
The old carts?
Yes.
They were traded in.
Revenue back to the new contract?
Yes.
Did it diminish our 450 plus interest?
It was calculated on that.
The 450 was after the rebate on the return cards. Pine Needles, card areas, back to drainage, garbage. You guys are doing, I'm gonna close on a compliment. Thank you, you're doing better on that. Mike's got a guy at the clubhouse that is making that presentable. That I know that accumulates a lot. Pine needles are a pain. I own pine trees, I get it. The turnabouts, the normal stopping points, garbage, all of that, they seem to be doing better. I've actually noticed a couple of, I'm gonna get off my equipment and pick up this water bottle that flew out of somebody's cart. Please encourage that. It's wildly noticed, greatly appreciated, and it keeps the drain. So you go out and you go clean the drain on 7. What good does it do if it's full of pine needles next week, right? So I understand that there's a cylindrical loop to this, or cyclical loop to this. So, but appreciate that. Let them know that that's noticed, because that curbing down there at the practice green is just hideous. But that guy has been doing a really good job. Water bottles, napkin, it's a mess. Appreciate that. Anything else on the golf course? You're excused. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
Let's move on to Mike and now the golf pro report.
Good afternoon. My report is, so on the bottom right-hand corner shows 9-hole rounds, 18-hole rounds down the line regarding the month of September. I'm working with Golf Now to try and make things a little bit easier on my end to calculate these things, because right now it wasn't quite set up how I would like to have it set up. So I am in constant contact with Mike, who's the sales rep for Golf Now. Absolutely wonderful man. PGA golf professionals, he knows exactly what we're going through. And he's helping me put together some reports to make it a little bit easier to get all these things accurate on a daily basis. but you'll see golf grill sales and the outings we had in September was for 192 players. Green fee total, cart fee total, golf pro shop merchandise total down the line. Just to the left of that, where it shows from September 1 to September 1st to September 28th, all those numbers are skewed because I found a glitch in the system that he's been asked his cares team to take care of. And excuse me, he doesn't know what happened, and I obviously don't know what happened. But those numbers got like 1.5 or doubled somehow, some way. So he's having them check what's going on. The one thing I thought was pretty interesting was just the busiest days. Everyone thinks they're the weekends, but we have really, really busy Mondays and really, really busy Tuesdays and really, really busy, like everyone else, Fridays. So I found out we're a morning golf course. Didn't know that at the start, but now I know we are a morning golf course. We're incredibly busy from 6 a.m. to 11. Then it kind of dies out until probably about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Now, obviously, it's not quite so much 3 or 4 in the afternoon because it's dark at 6:15 or 6:30-ish. But I thought that was incredibly interesting and how busy we are pretty much every single morning. Regarding the golf carts and what we're doing, I check geofencing on a daily basis. I go through and check the history report from the day before, see where people have driven, and if people have driven where they're not supposed to, I automatically put up a geofence. Like, I don't know, onto the silver tee on 17. We've seen that. I've seen that a handful of times. They just drive up the ramp and park on the silver tee on 17 and then pull back down. So that's been geofenced off. They've cut across from 17 to 18 somehow, some way. So that's been geofenced off. I've seen just a handful of things that have been geofenced off. We've had incredibly fewer phone calls regarding, hey, I'm stuck on the cart path. Because I do that on a regular basis to make sure that the geofencing does not touch cart paths. Like just to one that's just to the left of 3 green, that's over, that where the tree is over, you can't see from high above that it's there, that I made the mistake of doing that. Now that's been pulled back in. When the lines are drawn, like on one, I went on later that day to do stuff and the geofencing hit outside the line, so I moved the geofencing back so it was inside the line so people could drive along the line and not get geofenced. That gets checked pretty much on a regular daily basis to make sure that those phone calls are few and far between now compared to what they used to be. Because obviously geofencing was new to everybody. So that's taken care of. We have put together a little sign on every cart that says, please do not turn the key off. The reason for that is because once you turn the key off, that sign right there, because once you turn the key off, it's a 4 to 5 minute reboot of the entire system, and the golf carts cannot do anything until the entire system gets rebooted. And the thought process, from what I understand, is the GPS screen is kind of like a computer. So like a computer, when you switch it on and off, it restarts it. That doesn't work with this. So we've asked that they just keep the key on, and then they get that taken care of. Again, geofenced areas, we're really looking at that on a daily basis. All the par 3s are cordoned off for obvious reasons. Left of 18 is cordoned off for obvious reasons. Behind the driving range is cordoned off. There's some right of 9 is cordoned off. Left of 11 is cordoned off. So we're trying to make sure no one gets to go motocross anymore, and to keep the carts good and clean on a regular basis. I still find it, the fact that some people have gone somewhere that I didn't even consider was an idea, and they did, so it automatically gets geofenced out, automatically. Like, nope, not supposed to be there, gone. And so understand that that is a constant daily thing that we do. We still get phone calls saying, hey, my cart will only go in reverse. It's because you're in a place you're not supposed to be, but I swear I'm on a cart path. Okay, fine, but just follow the GPS screen and you'll be perfectly fine to get that taken care of. We do have a little glitch going on right now that I've already contacted Club Car, the higher ups, regarding our carts right now, out of nowhere, just automatically, just randomly die. And the people at Club Car know that. So we just tell people, just wait 5 seconds, hit the gas, and it goes. But once you turn the key off, it's a 4 to 5 minute reboot. So that's, again, another reason why the signs are there. Also, the rumor was that people would turn the GPS screens off and going wherever they wanted. That problem has been rectified. So if they turn the GPS screens off, the cart dies right then and there. And the cart cannot go anywhere until the GPS screen gets turned back on. So
Because that's where the geofencing is located, is in that GPS.
that is correct. And so people think that
Software into the
they,
engine.
correct. So people thought that they could turn the GPS off and then drive wherever they wanted. And that was technically true. And I talked to the Culp Cart guys and they go, you can't believe the stories we hear about what people do at golf courses to get around what they do, the geofenced areas. Wow. So Club Card got on that right away, and that's been taken care of. And I haven't, and when I open the cart barn every morning, when I turn the key on and the GPS screen pops on automatically, if it doesn't pop on, then I know someone's messed with it. Well, that hasn't happened in the last week and a half. That problem has been taken care of. So every time I turn the key on every morning, for all the carts I do, the screen turns on automatically. So I know that's not been turned off regarding that situation. So I will say that we had a lot of favorable golf comments on the golf course. I thought the firefighters went really well. I played. Golf course was really darn good. Could it be better? Sure, but so can a lot of other golf courses in the world. And my staff inside is doing a really good job explaining to people what geofencing is. These aren't the old carts. You have to follow what we do. Please read the GPS screen. It'll tell you exactly what to do. If you turn the key off, you're stuck for 4 to 5 minutes. Please do not turn the key off. Please just read the GPS screen. When you get close to a green, the GPS screen shows you the geofenced area. And if you're driving by a place, the screen shows you a geofenced area. Like that little triangle behind 10, right of 15, where people tend to drive the carts through on a regular basis, it shows that it's geofenced off, and people still try to drive through it. So if they
Wait
just...
a minute. I got to get that in my head. Okay, behind 10.
No, right behind 10 green and right of 15.
Between 11 and 15.
Right, on this, where the little triangle is, where that little bunker is, where that bunker
The
is,
start of the shop.
the back end, correct. Yeah, the back of the shop. There's that
That
little,
is geofence.
that little triangle is geofenced, because I don't want people driving through that sand bump. I don't want people driving through it.
Good.
So it's geofenced off. A lot of 10 fairways geofenced off through Pat friends. I asked him, what do you want? He goes, I want this. Yes, sir. I will get it taken care of. So all the par threes are pretty much,
Car path only.
yeah,
As they should be.
as they should be. That doesn't stop people from trying to. I've seen people hop the curb on 17 and drive up in front of the green. So now that's geofenced off. So they can't even do it.
Can we put signs on par threes too, as well?
Remember, if you put signs up, that means the mowers have to get off to move them to mow.
Yeah.
We can do something.
Something to, besides the GPS, the people that have private cars.
Well, people are going to drive up on 17 Silver Tee with carts regardless of what the sign says. They're going to do it.
Yeah, if you have your own cart, you know not to do it. You don't need a sign telling you.
Yeah, they know what they're supposed to do. And I had a gentleman today go, well, how far away can you park? We're asking you to walk 30 feet. We're not asking you to walk a mile and a half. We're asking you to walk 30 feet. Like on 9, where they would go between the green and the bunkers and the old days and that type of stuff. We're asking you to walk. Like I think we've done a really good job of taking phone calls and taking requests and go, why is this like this? And let me check it, because I'm going to miss things and I fully know it. So I think we've done a really good job in tightening the geofenced areas to where people can be quote unquote happy that they still get to not walk 500 feet. They get to walk 30 feet and still enjoy the game. And so that's what we're trying to do. I want people to go where it's correct. I don't want people to take one step and they're on the green. That has to end, and that's going to end. Okay, any questions?
Yes. Okay, regard to the lost the word, the new cards, the new course rating, the new tee boxes, what's all happening there?
The Arizona Golf Association was out on September 15th to re-rate the golf course, and I asked them to rate every tee box.
Thank you.
So every tee box has been rated. I have not received the results yet, but every tee box has been rated. They also have told us,
For both,
yes, sir,
thank you.
everything,
Men and women,
correct.
thank you.
They've also told us if I want to put together a combination between gold and copper or between copper and silver, they are willing to do whatever we ask them. In addition to that, Roger Weta has given me all the mathematical numbers of what they did from 2021, 22, 23, 24 regarding handicap holes, and what the raw data is, what scores were taken on holes 1 through 18 from the silver. Black doesn't, but from the gold, from the silver, from the copper for the men. I have 4 years worth of data. He gave it to me.
From the source being Elks, men's group?
Men's group and whatever else they could get together, right? So it's but 4 years worth of data on what the scores were on one from the golds, from the silver, from the copper, and then add them up. That's what and then 1 through 18. So what I'm looking at because we have to get new scorecards because of the new rating and the new everything, is to have the black, the gold, and the silver. I'm trying to do one handicap hole for the men for 1 through 18. And then copper is going to have a men's rating and a women's rating.
Yes.
Because not exactly the same. Right now, copper has one rating.
Yes, that's.
So we're looking at one rating for the men, black, gold, and silver. One rating for the men, copper. One, not rating, handicap holes, my bad. So one handicap holes, black, gold, and silver for the men. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we'll make adjustments. And then handicap holes rating for the men from the copper, or handicap holes rating for the women from the copper. Because they're not going to be the same. They're just not. And like I said, I have Roger's data, and I've looked through it a handful of times. And as we get closer to putting together a new scorecard and how we're going to do that, then it's going to be a pretty deep dive into what those numbers will be. Because right now, some of them don't make sense at all. And I talked with you a little bit about it, Sean, about that, and some of them just don't make sense. So I want it to make sense, and I want it to be correct for everyone, regardless of what tees you play. And that's the goal.
Well, that's the goal.
Okay,
You
what
got
about-
these guys that are playing tournaments and stuff that are out there in the world that are on wrong handicaps, whether they're high or low.
I don't disagree with you. I completely agree with you. And I talked to Vicky Colasico, and she said, right now the coppers aren't 5,000 yards every place we go play in tournaments. Over 5. I understand that, but that's why I've been asked to put together a silver-copper combo that is rated, so if women want to do that, then they can do that. I'm still putting together what those holes are to bounce between, because you have to have a definitive holes on what holes we played from the copper, what holes we played from the silver. That's the only way it can be rated, with definitive holes, copper and silver, then it can be rated, right?
Right.
Same thing if you do the same thing between silver and gold. They have to have definitive holes of what's going to be played from the silver, what's going to be played from the gold, and from the gold and the black, what's going to be played from the gold, what's going to be played from the black. And then we can have those combination. We don't need separate tees, because on the scorecard you put a little arrow on who plays where, and that now you can play a golf course of a combination of tees and post a score with the correct rating. Regardless.
That's a big thing in the military. You know that.
Yeah. So that's what the goal is as we go forward. And by the time we have the new scorecard, it'll have a black rating, a black gold rating, a gold silver rating, a silver rating,
Nice.
a silver copper rating, and a silver copper rating for the men, a silver copper rating for the women, a copper rating for the men, a copper rating for the women.
And the rating cost $0.
Yeah. And the guys from AGA, really good gentlemen and women, they said, whatever you want, let me know, and we'll take care of it for you.
Is that who you were riding around with? Was that Raiders that you were riding around with on that day?
No,
That was somebody else.
not me
Yeah,
yet.
that was Monday the 15th. They came out and raided, and they played it. And they played the golf course.
So what's the vision for the new tee boxes? How are you going to use those?
I'm sorry, say that again?
The vision for say our guests here concerned about hole 7.
Thank you.
the new tee boxes, or the forward one, say in front of the copper, what's that gonna be used for?
Well, on 7, it's already, that could be a copper tee.
When are you going to make any changes?
Well, there's no reason to put the tee there now when it's not rated from there.
Okay,
I mean,
when it's rated?
When we get all the information back and I can do that, then I have no problem moving tees back
And
and
it'll go
forth.
in rotation.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
To where you can have it, then, because you want a tee to rest and grow, same thing on par 3s, and so you can play TA, whatever that, you can play the forward tee for X amount of weeks, move back to the back copper tee for X amount, and then just move, and then rotate it back and forth, so regardless of what tee you play, because technically speaking, the copper tee on 18 is not rated.
right, I know that.
Okay, well, so.
Because it was an add-on.
Correct, but it has now been measured and all that fun stuff, so it will be rated. But so for whoever's been, I'm just saying that I can move the tees wherever I want, and the copper tee that's way right on 2, it's now just got measured and rated. So I can put it on there, but technically by rule,
Yeah,
you
Right, it's gotta be-
can't post a score because it's not rated.
That's what we brought up to Mike at the first meeting of, he's done all this golf course modification, but in the effort to make it more playable, easier to maintain, do all these things, we're not in compliance anymore with AGA, USGA rating. We didn't have the scorecards
Right.
were accurate, tees that were added were never metriced. So yes, you're over the target, yes.
Yeah. So I haven't, like I said, we still, I'm asking them to get it to me pretty soon, because if once we can at least post it and it's on the USGA GIN system, then they can post scores.
Yes, because I was gonna say, that's the next step, is once it's done, them electronically, it needs to go to GIN.
Correct.
Right?
And then because they don't have to wait for us to make our new scorecard, they can start posting as soon as I get those numbers, and I'll contact him by the end of the week.
So what are you looking at doing on scorecards? So you're saying when you get ready to order new scorecards, it's gonna be your template of what you think is the way it's going to be, you're gonna feel comfortable ordering a gaggle of cards and get the discount, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we'll do whatever we gotta do to use the old scorecards up.
Correct.
Okay. Because everything's a budget issue.
No, I understand. Yeah. At the same time, I want to be able to, once all that gets taken care of, once I get the new yardages and all that fun sort of stuff, then I'm going to put together with what Roger gave me, all the numbers from copper, silver, gold, and black, and then show it to people. I'm not hiding any of this. Then I'm going to show it to Sean, or show it to the men's club, or show it to the Elks, show it to the women. Say, here, I want your feedback. This is what.
Oh, absolutely. Excellent.
To make sure that then by the time it's on the scorecards, no one can be surprised. Like I want input on how this is going to be done. So when the scorecards are ordered and the scorecards are taken care of, then no one can go, but, no, everyone, not every person, but,
Right.
all the organizations got to see this and they got their input into it. But, excuse me, it's all based on data, right?
Right.
Just like the geofencing I do is all based on data I see. It's not because I feel like it. It's because what I've seen that's already happened. And so when I see data, I take care of it correctly. So same thing with the new handicap holes. It's all based on data.
Kudos to Ueda for doing that.
Yeah,
right?
he came to me and goes, here's what I have. And I go, please give it to me.
Thank you for that. That saved a couple of rounds. We have been members of my group have been in that situation where, yes, the cart has been on the path. Yes, it's not in a geofenced area. Yes, it is stopped. Yes, they shut the key off. So thank you for that. Thank you for, you've actually been you or Jim or whomever's answered the phone, super kind, super amiable, knowing that there's a learning curve coming with these cards. So yes, we know you're getting a lot of calls. I have a question, and I guess I don't understand it. In the last 2 weeks, I've come across 2 separate foursomes that are having a problem mapping their way around the course. And I think that it's well marked from 3 to 4, from 7 to 8. I think it's well marked. So we got a guy from Bullhead City, goes 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 15. Is there nothing in the cart that tells them that this is with the GPS. Is there nothing in the cart that tells them they're off track?
Well, again, but if they go from 1, 2, 3, then to 6,
They're still in the fence.
yeah, but the GPS will tell them they're on the 6T.
Yeah.
The GPS will say you're on
You
6.
wanna play
Or it'll
this
ask
all.
them, yeah, do you want to play 6 or do you want to play
Yeah.
4?
Yeah, or they'll ask them, do you
How
want to
did they
play?
do it?
It's people, man. There's no way to fix that. I mean, the only one that I would basically suggest that we could do something about is from 15 to 16.
Caught the guy at the clubhouse. He's mad the course is only 7 holes. I'm like, dude. Wow. All right, I want you to put something on your radar. You're doing the Snackateria too as well, correct, Mike?
Say that, I'm sorry, say that again. Doing the what?
You're doing the Snackateria. You're over
Yes, sir.
the bar. And, okay, so I brought this up in June. I've talked to Tim about it. Tim's talked to Carl about it. House Bill 2411, bring your own bottle to the golf course, has gone through the House, the Arizona House. It is currently sitting in the Senate. When they resume session, it is going to be passed. Carl Cooper thinks that the city of Kingman has a workaround for that. We're back to enforcement. We're back to marshaling. We're back to how you're going to inspect golf bags for liquor. So I want no comment from you. I want it to be on your radar. The House Bill 2411 is going to get passed. It is going to say that state law allows you to bring liquor onto the golf course. That's that. And from there, you guys politically work it out. But I'm telling you, it's going to get passed. Keep it on your radar. Very good conversation on the course rating. Like I said, that's been bugging me for 5, 6, 7 years. The marshals, please stay on that. Please work that into the budget. I know that you're doing kind of some mitigation call-out work with phone calls for super slow players, super lost players, different, extraordinaries that you get to deal with. But yeah, we need full-time marshaling. We just do. I think it's a revenue issue. I think it's a safety issue. I think it's got a lot of implications for enforcement, for where your vision is going, for rules, regulation, etiquette. Let's behave like decent human beings while on the golf course. And I think marshals can help you missionary your vision. Thank you for the revenue. Whoever did that on the revenue on this weekly report, or these reports that you're rolling up, I asked for that in June. You're doing that. Thank you. We're big adults. We can see numbers. We're not sharing that on Facebook. We're just curious as to where we are. I'm telling you about House Bill 2411 and asking you to put it on your radar, because I want you doing the same like you're doing with trail fees, greens fees. I want to see if we take a hit in the liquor market for the BYOB law. So it'd be tracking it now would give you a comparable, correct?
Correct.
We mentioned the yardages on the carts. I personally, if we're gonna go to this geo system with the carts having the yardages, and they're a maintenance issue, get rid of the yardage markers. I've played a billion courses that don't have them, right? So if the stakes to me in the middle of the fairway are an aiming point, they have nothing to do with my game, right? I mean, and if they're that far off, I can't club off of them. So I was glad to hear in the rules and regulation portion, but I want to address it again. There was some nefarious actions taken, I witnessed, on the golf carts, on the old golf carts, and there was a very weak reporting accountability loop to damage to golf carts. This is a valuable asset the city has dumped a ton of money into, and the citizenry that does not golf is angry about it, right? We need to show that we're doing everything in our power to maintain that fleet in the best pristine condition we can for as long as we can. And your guys that are taking care of those carts, those types of things, it is appreciated. I talked to you about the firemen's. You were on the cart path on 8. What I was trying to relay to you, back to this, it's easy to get ready for a tournament if you stay ready for a tournament. What I was trying to relay to you on 7 is The carts were going down between the final tree and the flooding that remained from the rain and the hemorrhage from the 7 break in the sprinkling line that you had, that trunk. So what I was trying to relay to you is, prior to that golf tournament, we should have roped that area in front of 7 off. And then it would have been, I think, only moist for the tournament, not completely dry. But that's what I was trying to relay to you, so I'm sorry if I didn't relay that to you better. But I get the marking thing for tournaments, but man, I sure would like to see the marking be replaced. And I know what a pain it is to mow around and all that, but I sure would like to see the stakes on the rope go up just for mere traffic, trying to get those areas back.
Yeah.
7 is real bad, 18's getting bad. Some of these fairways that you know have very bad areas, the ropes and stakes, man, and we paid money for that guidance, let's use it, right? That was part of that study. Any other questions for Mike? Comments?
The credit card surcharge.
TPT, well, we don't know if it's TPT, it's the credit card surcharge. Can you talk to your employees in your staff meeting and let them know, talked about this with Mike prior to the meeting, I'd like to go on record that someone's going in there, it's kind of a unknown hidden fee. It's been well advertised, we will agree with that. It's been well documented, Mike's got it out on the door on your cash register. Have your workers, when they're ready to process a high dollar transaction of an annual fee, a annual pass or something like that, and the person are gonna get hit with an $80, $90, $100 charge for the credit card fee, please ask your employees to share with the patron.
They have been.
Would you like to pay for this in cash? You could save a bunch of money, right? Because the city doesn't get hurt from that. It's all the city's doing in that transaction is paying the credit card to use the credit card.
Understood.
So please just bring that up. We do believe that the city, I've had a spirited discussion with Cherish about this. I do believe that the city has done adequate, their due diligence in notifying people that the credit card charges were coming. I did present to her the scenario of not everybody gets a water bill. There are people golfing at Surbat that are coming off of Wells, North area, Golden Valley, not in our area, Bullhead City, those types of things. But just, I know it's more work on you, but just if you're processing a large transaction, please say, hey, you know, if you give me a cashier's check or cash, I won't have to charge you this credit card fee. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
No hidden surprises. That's all we're asking. We know it's not on you. You didn't implement this. We know that. It's not
Right.
on you.
I got you.
You're the guy at the cash register, so we're asking you at the place where the rubber meets the road to please do that courtesy. Anything else?
Yeah, a question. I'm still kind of confused on what the new rates are. So is $46, is that a weekend, non-local? For 18?
You broke it.
No idea?
I honestly don't. I think it's 48 is non-resident
Okay.
weekend.
And it doesn't really matter. Like, I guess the reason why I wanted to bring it up is I want us to put onto the next agenda, if we can, about raising the non-local fees again, because we were never brought into the last raise. We told you we wanted it raised, but we only raised like $3 or $4, you know? So a non-local pays, what, $3 or $4 more an 18-hole with the cart round than a local does? I think we need to raise it another 10 or 15 for a non-local. I mean, nobody's going to stop playing non-local if they're paying 65 or if they're paying 45 and they come to Kingman. Because I go anywhere else, I'm paying double. So I think we need to get with the curve a little bit. You talk about budget issues all the time. That solves, I don't know how many thousands of dollars a year, but that's extra for doing nothing. So I think we need to get on that and start collecting that again, because we used to do that and it stopped about 10 or 15 years ago, and we've just implemented it, but a few dollars more for 18 isn't really doing justice, I don't think, because although our course does need some improvement, for $45 or $48 or whatever for 18 holes in a cart, you're still paying $85 to $100 for this course in Phoenix or Vegas. So I think we need to talk about that next meeting and get that raised so we can get some more of these budget issues that you keep talking about, and get those
Mike?
helped out a little bit.
Mike addressed that somewhere along the line. We've discussed it. You're on point. You talked about this increase that we just got was probably one of some more upcoming. You talked about moving the non-local rate when you did the next rate increase, but I'm with Commissioner Lawson. That might be a sooner rather than later discussion to have, and I think you would have Tim and Tina's blessing on that. An interim, say, second quarter, fiscal year, whatever, and say, hey, we're leaving the rate alone for all locals, everything, the rate scale we currently have is leaving alone, except for the out-of-towners. But then back to what your responsibility on that end is gonna be, you're gonna need to determine residency. And that, like I said, you got a guy that's not living in the city that's getting a city water bill, you need to figure that out. And I've told Tim that, and I've told you that. That's gonna open a can of worms, but he is right on it. We exactly expect to pay more when we go out of town, and that rule should be applied and shared equally coming back.
I'll make a remark
Agreed.
on that. I think locals should be considered Mojave County residents. And the reason I say that is because playing Laughlin Ranch and I think even Lake Havasu Golf Club, I'm from Kingman, but I get a local discount there.
Yep.
So I think we need to give them the same that they're giving us at their courses.
Which
And
we-
it makes it easier. You might not be paying a city of Kingman water bill, but you know, you're still local in our book.
I was with you, what you originally said. I said it needs to be a reciprocity deal where we go to Laughlin Ranch, they treat us like a residence, they come here, we need to treat them like a resident. That water bill thing came up from the city. That never came from me. That was something that they wanted to do, and that's how they were determining residency. But I'm with you. If it's Mojave County, I think they should be considered a resident. But anything outside of that, you can't show a Mojave County or Arizona ID local to the area, then you pay the guest rate or the out-of-town rate. So yeah, I'm agreeing with everything you're saying.
I think we need to get on it sooner than later too, because we're losing money, in my opinion. We've lost a lot of money over the last 15 years because of it, so.
Where are you at on that, Mike? Your wheels are turning.
I'm in favor of non-resident rates, but what we did, we raised the rates, and then residents get a 10% discount is what it is. So if we raise the rates real high, the resident's still gonna only get a 10% discount?
No, I think we need to keep it. I
Right.
think, I understand what you did, but I don't understand why you did it like that. Like I said, I go to a course in Vegas and I play like Rhodes Ranch or something. It's like 150 or 160 bucks or something like that. I live in Kingman. If I have my buddy Tanner Trahan pay it, that live down there, it's like 90 bucks or 80 bucks. So there's no like distinction. It's a non-local and local, just like we always used to have. There's no discount, you know, and I think that needs to be enforced in the pro shop, and that's just gonna be a learning curve to where it's like asked upon, you know, where do you live? I'm a local, prove it. You know, if they say I'm a non-local, you don't really have to prove that to me. So let them pay the non-local, and then you have your local and non-local fees. There's no discounts involved. I get we're gonna have to redo the board and stuff like that, but that's how it is when I go elsewhere, and that's pretty straight and narrow there, so.
Yeah, and the resident and non-resident rate was decided by council too, and it was approved by council. So this is all something that will have to go back to council too. when
Yep,
we- when we
perfect.
decide to do it, so.
Yeah,
But so on the agenda, Sherry, you'll take point of action on that?
I'll talk to the city manager and we'll see where he wants to go with it as well.
Okay. That's fair enough. Any other questions for Mike? How's your working relationship with the maintenance shack?
Whoever it is, it's good.
It's good.
They're good people, man.
Good.
We talk
right.
all the time. I help him as much as he helps me. Like it's on par. It's solid. Really, really solid.
Good.
Yep.
Good. Well, welcome aboard, and we appreciate your efforts. It looks to me a lot of the things that your goals are shared by this commission, and that's most excellent. Sad to see Ty go. Is there anything there we need to discuss? Kind of sad about that. prior to the meeting, we were talking about, and it sounded to me like you're getting a handle on that, tea times made verbally, not necessarily email secured. Locals thinking they're coming in tomorrow, playing at 10:30, no tea time made, putting an onus on you guys that then you need to get people out because
Well,
we walked out the door thinking we had a tea time.
So
That's happened.
I understand, but that's always going to happen. There's always going to be a little miscommunication. That's just part of the deal. One of the things that I've asked the staff is to stop saying, just come on out.
Yeah.
Give them a tea time. I don't care if we're dead, give them a tea time. Because if you tell 10, 8, 9 people to come on out, and if they bring 3 people, that's 27 people. Give them a tea time. Before, it was, just come on out, we'll get you out. Well, then there's a chaotic first tee. So one of the first things I did was, if they want to play, give them a time. Like, if they want to play at 2:30, give them a time at 2:30. If they want to play at 4 o'clock, give them a time at 4 o'clock. I really want, and they've done a really good job of this, is to eliminate saying, just come on out. Because person A doesn't know how many times person B has said come on out, and person C, like, you know what I mean? So
Right.
if we look at tomorrow's tee sheet and they go, oh, just come on out, but they don't work tomorrow, then another one says just come on out. Now all of a sudden we have, instead of nothing, we have 5 groups ready to go at 2 o'clock because they just said come on out.
That's what I was telling Mike. The person that said the time, that said yes, 10:34, 10:38,
Right.
whatever it was. Well, then we come in the next day and Jim's got to deal with that because we're not on the book.
I understand that, and I also know that's going to happen because it doesn't happen often, but that's part of humans and just miscommunication. That's going to happen. It's going to happen less and less and less and less when we say, what time do you want to play? And like I said, sometimes there's just going to be oopses. We also have people going, hey, are you going to send me a confirmation? No, we're not. Like that's when you make a tea time online, you get a confirmation email. When you call us, you just have to trust us. Okay. And it's just one of those things that I just have to continue to talk to the team about making sure they're a little bit more arduous about making sure that
There's a spot.
Yeah, that there's a spot and they booked the time.
Right.
You know, and so I think they've done a really good job. Like I said, people still get used to just come on out, come on out, come on out. It happened the other day where a couple of kids just, hey, we just decided to play, and I forget who it was. I think it was Al or Jim said, sorry, I don't have anything available for an hour and a half because it was that busy. And we don't need to put them out just because. We don't need to put them out because other people have made tea times, and we need to be courteous with the people who made tea times. And the wait list is called the wait list for a reason. I used to work at Palo Alto Muni. We did 110,000 rounds a year, 18-hole, 9-hole rounds, and the wait list was the wait list. You want to play at a certain time, make a tea time. So that's what I'm trying to get people. You want to play at a certain time, make a tea time. Just make a time. Sometimes they're harder to get than others, but you want to play at 3 o'clock on Thursday, call me and say you want to play at 3 o'clock on Thursday.
Preferably
But
on
if you want to
Tuesday.
call me on Thursday afternoon saying you want to play at 9 o'clock Sunday morning, good chance you ain't getting that. Right?
Yeah.
And so we're just trying to educate everybody into being way more communicative and making sure that the public asks for what they want and we try to give them as best we can what they're asking for.
Well, and our thing is the golfers, we didn't want to put that on Jim, right? We're there fully assuming that we had a time locked up. Then all of a sudden, yeah, you're not in here. So we're feeling bad for it didn't happen. And
Right.
then it was an error he didn't make, he had to deal
Right,
with.
but also-
And then the tee box is a mess.
Yeah, and the tee box is a mess. And,
Yeah.
and eventually, a little bit down the road is I'm going to make sure the staff gets a little more tight with the first tee anyway. So to make sure
You are
there's
currently interviewing anybody?
For-
The pro shop?
tomorrow.
You got more than one?
Yes.
Okay.
Then hire them all. That would be my guidance.
Budget.
Any other comments for the golf pro?
No, doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you, Mike. Requests for any future reports, updates, any announcements by commission members? All bulked into one. What do you got? Commissioner Page, start with you.
just for the commission and the city. I applied for a job in Phoenix, and if I get the job, I'm probably gonna resign from the commission, but I won't know for another probably 30 days, so, but I'll keep you all posted.
Yeah, I don't know how to process that, so I'm not. Like you'd move?
No, but I'd be down there more than half the week, so.
I asked that question because he's my daughter's next door neighbor. Okay, so
Nope, she's out of luck.
Commissioner Johnson,
I have nothing.
what do you got?
I got it all out. I'm done.
You're okay? You're
I'm
okay
okay.
on the credit card fee? Commissioner Lawson, what do you got?
I'm good.
Mr. Mearsman, anything you want to add?
Yes, I'd just like to say thank you to these two. Alex been doing a great job in Patrick's absence. And the team, obviously the golf course speaks for itself. It's in really good shape, I think, right now. I'm really proud of that. And Mike's been great to work with so far. He's faced a lot of challenges, and really proud of the job both of them are doing. So I just want to say thank you to them for sure. And thank you to you commission members. I appreciate that. And I also had on here, our next meeting, I guess, is somewhere. I wrote it down. And the next meeting is December 10th. So thank you all.
December 10th,
Yep.
and we're staying at the 1, or I originally thought we agreed at 1:30. 1300. I want to, just as my end comment, I do want to read that statement I referred to earlier regarding Commissioner or Vice Chairman Moore's comment to the Golf Pro, and that is, it's a good opportunity to implement policy and procedures and help everyone to enjoy the course and start this as a new beginning. So that really struck me, and I really think that he nailed that on. The commission formed, Sam left. These things are, I believe, falling into place. So we're heading in the right direction. Let's please do so. Request everybody stay up to date on your water knowledge. You're welcome to go to that meeting for the water sustainability. 15th, 10:30, BOS conference room, open to the public. We're going to be hearing more and more about water in your near future. With that, I would request thank you all, by the way, for putting up with me. Would request a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Well, you're going to need to make a motion.
I second. A motion.
Second.
Second.
Golf Commission meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.